So as you can find in the conversation, not anymore, reason why I'm gonna post it again, it's basically to fill in the blanks in this sentence. I help and really define your target audience. So as more like the most specific you can be, the better, meaning that if you know about demographic challenges that they have, language, desire that they have, everything goes here. And then achieve, so the goal that this target audience has in common. I don't know, become more flexible, more aware, like whatever comes to your mind. You can use as many words as you want through, and here it's about like being specific on your own style, on what you can be like provide that is unique to yourself, and like doesn't have to be like for example already Bhakti Prema Yoga, something like that. You already have the vision of your yoga style. Can also be like a couple of words. I don't know, through yoga. For example, when I did it the first time, was really about like yoga, coaching, energy healing. I put everything together just to have in mind what was that I wanted to have in the style. So this is the exercise, and now we go in the room.
Okay, so breakout rooms of 2 people, right?
Yeah.
So, there you go. Okay. So wait, most of them are, let's see, 2 people, 2 people, 2 people. Wait. Where is Teresa? Okay, so. Okay. Terry, you are right now in one of the rooms, but then I will move you around. Okay, you guys have fun. Enjoy the exercise. Oh, yeah, wait. Oops. You have 3 minutes each. 3 minutes each. Time it. Hi, Joanna. How are you? I'll put you in a breakout room with someone else. Oh, so cute. Maybe your connection is so never mind. So watch, everybody's in a breakout room, but I cannot put you into one because of your connection, I think, for some reason. I'm trying, but yeah, anyway, they will be back in 5 minutes. Maybe, yeah, the next round will work better, I hope. Yeah. Joanna and Martina, you can do this exercise in the main room because, yeah, so I'm having a hard time to put Joanna in a breakout room. So if you want, so it's just really to think about the questions that Teresa, you can unmute yourself and for 3 minutes, each one of you, just maybe 2 minutes now, each one of you shares about your vision, yeah? So Martina, this is Joanna, Joanna, this is Martina, and baby.
Hi, Martina.
Yeah, Joanna, do you want to start? Oh my God, your baby's so small.
Hi, Joanna. Nice meeting you.
Hi. Are we introducing ourselves?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Martina. So basically, what you're doing is sharing what came up with you, thinking about your vision and your mission. So maybe you start and you explain it to Joanna. Let's do that.
Okay, sure. So we discussed about this sentence. Were you here yesterday? No. Oh,
No,
you're muted. I can't hear you. Sorry.
No, I wasn't here yesterday. I watched half of the video.
Okay. All right. All right. I see. Okay. So we had this homework to do, and it's a sentence that we had to, and then we had to fill in a blank. Achieve blank through blank. So this is what we had to think about. And before we had some exercises, we talked about some life areas and what kind of stuff is important for us, what we want to focus on, what our emotions are. And so I thought about this sentence, and I thought that it's quite hard to come up with a very specific audience, because like the blank where you put in I help, you're supposed to think about your audience, like to define your audience that you want to that you want to target, so your customers basically. And I found it quite hard to be really specific about it, actually. But what I came up with was like, I want to help stressed, unaware, perfectionist people. And then the next one, achieve, also quite hard, I would say, because there's so many, options. What do you want them to achieve? So I came up with awareness and mental growth. And through what? For me, it would be through creative body movement or asanas in my yoga classes or workshops. So this is what I came up with, and I feel like it's still not 100% sure or definite, but yeah, those are the things that came to my mind.
I really like it. Was it difficult thinking of it in that way because you've never thought about it in that way before? I personally never thought
Right.
about who my audience is and what I'm trying. I've never focused on it in that way. So as soon as you just said it, then it's such a different way of looking at the way that you teach.
Right, it is. Yeah. And especially like, even though if you're already teaching, I think probably all of us just started doing it, right? Just started teaching, and like really coming up or thinking about your audience is quite hard, actually. I wouldn't think that, but now that I did think about it, I don't know, do you teach right now online courses?
I've not taught any online classes. I've only taught in the studio. So
Okay.
are you teaching online at the moment?
I do, and I find it even harder than normally, right? Because like you have all of your, like usually I go to a yoga studio or to a fitness studio, and I kind of know my audience. For example, in the fitness studio, you have all these fit people who like challenges, so you really can go hard with them. And but now with the online course, there's this huge mix of people. Like I have my parents in the course, and some like elderly people who were just curious about how I teach, but they keep coming back, which is really nice. But it's so hard to combine all of this together, because of course there's also young people who want challenging poses. So it's even harder now, I think.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I think that when I teach as well, normally in a studio, I teach like you do, quite challenging classes or try to push people a bit. And I've noticed that a lot of the online classes that I've been to, the teachers are teaching kind of softer because you have to cater to so many different people. It's really interesting.
Right. Yeah.
And how have you found your
That's
online
true.
classes?
How did I find them?
Yeah, how was it the first time that you taught online?
Oh, the first time was really weird, and you know, you don't have the interaction, and you also like you don't get answers, or you just. I was really excited and stressed about the technical stuff. Like,
Yeah,
I was wondering if it's going to work out.
Yeah.
But then it worked out pretty well. Yeah.
Do you teach with music when you teach normally? In the studio, do you teach with music?
I do. And right now,
and online as well?
no.
Yeah.
No, I haven't taught with music online yet because I think it's so hard. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, not everyone has Spotify. So I don't know like how to do it. And playing it through the same device as I speak, I think it's not a good idea as well for the audio.
Agree, yeah.
Yeah, you really need 2 devices and Spotify, and you really have to be like really good setup. So yeah, I think not everybody has this kind of equipment to have like airports for the instructions and a good yeah, like every time teachers, I mean, sometimes I do it and I do the whole setup, but sometimes I just ignore the Spotify playlist. And I mean, you also need to have really good internet, because if it's not good, the sound, and you put music over it, it's like really tiring.
Right.
Do you have a microphone when you teach?
I use AirPods.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not very technical, so the first time I teach online is going to be definitely full of mistakes.
I think maybe we might have another meeting to talk about technology, especially the mics seem to be like a big deal. I've looked into different kinds, and I was using earpods at the beginning, but I found that it really changed my voice a lot. It made it a little robotical. But it's better than nothing. Yeah, the earpods, but better than nothing. Is everybody back? Where is Teresa? Wait. Well, I think we should have like.
Yeah.
I think we should have.
Ciao Teresa, grazie ancora.
Special cost for technology and teaching online. So how did it go, Terry? Your first experience in the breakout rooms?
No, but I do a lot as a student, not as a like yeah. So no, actually, I think like at least in the breakout room where I was, that like there are a lot of elements already there. And when I did this exercise in another class that I had, people were much more lost. So I think it was interesting. So I think that today, if you enjoy this exercise, we can have it like another couple of times. Also because today's lesson, there are no exercise. I will talk a lot. I hope you're ready. And at this point, I will share my screen. 1 second. Okay. So let's see. It's frozen. Do you all see it, right?
Yes, let's talk marketing. I like that.
Yeah. So it should be very different from the one that you did before. But the reason why we did all this exercise yesterday, it's because by doing this exercise, we already did a couple of very good first steps in building our personal brand. So this is like a very famous Canva that is called the personal branding Canva, that is actually used to like position influencer or people that want to grow their online business, but when they put their face on. So when it's their own business, the reason why it's called the personal branding. Like, so as you can see in this Canva, we have different section. 1 second, I'll try to, okay. No, okay. So the first one is who you are, so your core identity. Then we have what do you offer, and why are you credible to your audience. And the last part that I think we already touch a little bit on, it's what are the key benefits that you're offering. So if you look at all the exercise that we did yesterday, so who you are as a core identity, these are all the things that you already wrote yesterday in this beautiful obituary that you wrote about, like, what are the main characteristics that you want to be remembered for. And these are something that I also saw in the breakout room. A lot of people already realized what are the benefit or the characteristics that they believe can make a difference in the world. And it's something that they are attracted to. So hopefully many of you have identified already these characteristics that are really about your identity. So it's not about the business itself. Then we have, what do you offer? And here as well, we did the exercise from yesterday. So like, I help people achieve through. In the true, you have a lot of these, what do you do? And what do you do? You added a lot also in the other exercise that we did together. So the life outcome. And then we have reasons to believe. This is actually like something that I will go a little bit fast on, but just to let you reflect that it's something that you really need to work on. So why should people trust you? In particular, like those of you who work online might have noticed that the space is getting very crowded. Like, you follow a lot of yoga teachers, a lot of coaches, and what makes the difference is how you catch the attention and people believe that you're reliable or you can help them achieve their goal better than the other competitors. So here, everything that you need, it's things that can build this trust, like testimonials, certifications, but even your own story. I see a lot of successful like teachers that they said exactly, for example, I don't know, like there are a lot of business coaches that they said, I was broke and now I make din, din, din. And they show how much they make through their business. And only showing their story, they are able to build this trust, because you actually know even more, if they made it, maybe they can help me do the same transition. And last part, it's the key benefit. So basically what you help your target audience achieve. So what is that unique sentence that is part of your personal brand? So this is why I really stressed yesterday that despite they might look very coaching exercise, in reality, if you don't have clear these foundations of the personal branding Canva, then it's very difficult to go and complete the other boxes that we see here. So let's see if, no. So what we will go through today is to actually realize what is the positioning of the brand. So basically, like even more going in detail in checking like what is our unique branding proposition in the communication channels, in the audience that we want to attract. Then also about like the different type of investment. Doesn't mean only money investment, but also time investment, because another mistake that a lot of people do is to think that they want to be everywhere. And they try to have a Facebook page, an Instagram page, a YouTube page, LinkedIn page. Now, like the social media platform multiply every year. And like, if you don't know how to master any of them, then you don't get traction on any of them. And then last part is how to analyze the results. So we will start, let's see, I don't remember, missing elements. So the first one is the audience. So when we think about the audience, I think that many of you have already some insight on the type of people that they want to support. So today we looked at a lot, people just come up with the first two area, maybe the three first area. So geographics, why it's very important. This is a struggle that I also had for a long time, because I think that people that speak multiple languages, they never know, okay, what should I do? I follow my native language. I go to English because it's bigger, a bigger market. And it's important to actually feel inside yourself what is the choice that you are more confident and comfortable with. Meaning that, for example, I started all my initial social media presence in Italian. Then maybe I realized that I should have done something different, but it's important that it's something that you really enjoy also doing, because you will see in the next slides, in particular, if you want to do it online, even if this presentation is not only about online, takes so much time. So it's something that you really need to enjoy, also the search of words and so on. Then you have demographics. So age and gender, income, background. And this is important both for online and offline. Because like, if you think about it, like the place where you set your studio also will have a certain type of audience. So already thinking and having in mind that these choices will attract and create your tribe, and that you need to be confident about the fact that you like that type of audience. And otherwise, like for example, in the area that I live in Berlin, a lot of yoga teachers start here and then move out because they don't like the type of people that they go. So I think because it's a very snobbish, very family oriented. So if you think that you only want to do it because these are high income people and then you don't like them, then also here, like it's better to realize who do you want to work with before rather than after. Then we have a behavioral pattern. This is very important when we build our conversion funnel in marketing. So you need to know how these people shop and even better take decision. Why? Because, for example, I was talking before, like in the breakout room, that like there was an interest in people who are at the beginning. So for sure, people who are at the beginning, they have, for example, different doubts about buying a course that someone very advanced would have. So it's important to know, okay, what are these doubts? How can I respond to these doubts in a way that I can convince my target audience? And here it plays a lot also about social demographics. So what are their interests, their personality, their value, and everything that you need to talk about to resonate with this type of audience. So here we have another little exercise that can help you define even better the famous sentence that we worked on yesterday. So who is your consumer target? So what slice of the population is most motivated to buy what you do? Here yesterday, or like I think that you already start to put into words like this type of target audience. But what we can do maybe in the next breakout room, I will put, okay. So we can do it later together with another exercise, is really to redefine even better this type of audience, realizing everything about their shopping pattern and their social demographics. So what are the value, what are their beliefs, what they trust. And then it's important to here define even more your brand. So where do you play, meaning like in which area of your business area, because it doesn't have to be only referred to yoga. So what is the frame of reference that helps to define the space in the market that you compete in? Why this is important? We will see also later, reason why I want to wait to do this exercise, that actually saying yoga, and I think every one of you is already a yoga teacher, it's such a wide category that already now it's niching down in so many different ways to resonate with different type of people. So like sometimes we think that we are defined enough, but the truth is that in particular at the beginning is really clear to have a niche in mind. And then what is the benefit? So where do you win? What promise will you make to your consumer target thinking about main benefit? both rational or emotional. So it doesn't have to be only something about the practice, for example, but the experience, in particular now that we are moving always more in this like experiential marketing. So like what is around your unique proposition and brand that builds and convinces this target audience about this benefit. And last part, so like what are the support points? So that's because, and here you can have either the reasons to believe, either like why, like what is your unique style, but it's very important to have both benefit and why they should believe you. So you can say, you can believe because like, I don't know, I trained 1,000 teachers, or like, or because like, this was my journey and I know exactly what I'm talking about. But it's important that people need to understand why is this person so convinced that she can help me? Because it's something that will always pop up, in particular when you don't know like your audience, because maybe they never tried or they never met you. So if we have these, only if this is clear, we can start and talk about communication channels, because you will see, otherwise it's very difficult to grow online, or I think also offline, to be honest, in nowadays world, if you don't have something that really define who you are, that all of us actually have. And this is the famous example that I was making. I also made it last year. So these are 3 different yoga teachers, maybe, and last year in the class, I remember the fight. Some people know only some of them, some people didn't know any of them, but it was interesting to see that they had a different idea of yoga depending on the type of people that they follow. So of course, I follow Dylan Werner. I don't know how many of you do. I still love him after 1 year. So he is like, I think the main teacher of Halo Yoga, but what actually makes him so unique is the aesthetics. The aesthetics, he only does super challenging poses, and is always, it's someone that even if he talks about, of course, yoga transition, yoga fundamentals, meditation, you can see that a person that follows this guy, it's someone who doesn't get scared of being inspired, of move out of his comfort zone. I love him. In our previous class last year, half of the people hated him because instead they find him scaring, and this is not yoga. So as you can see, of course, all of us love the Ameriga, but we have completely different perception of what yoga should do, as to connect with our personal values and belief. And then we have, for example, Action Jacqueline, that she's, if you're interested, actually a pretty new influencer. She grew in particular on YouTube, and then what she does, it's a really basic yoga. So like, it's super functional, and it's super detailed for people who've never done yoga before. So what is interesting in this case? Because, for example, I really had to research a lot to come across this profile, because like for me, it really doesn't resonate, because it's something that is super functional. Like, she explains everything in the video. How can you do basic position? So also for people that are far away from yoga. So looking at the benefit, low back, tense neck, but she became super successful because it was a niche that this functional yoga was not really touched a couple of years ago on Instagram. In compare to all these acrobats that instead were immediately like super famous. So just to tell you that, like, maybe you think that you need to go in a certain niche because everyone does it. Instead, she was true to herself and grow even faster than the other. And then we have the last, Gabrielle, favorite, Adrienne. So she, I think, has now 4 million followers on YouTube, something like that. I think she was the first yogi that she was a mom. She's very relatable. She's always show herself at home, her busy life, how can you do yoga in 15 minutes. So again, a completely different target audience. So here, it's maybe beginner, but it's also people that already did yoga, but they resonate because they struggle with time and they want to just have their practice in their daily life. So I think what really like manifests this slide is how we can find our niche, but it's important that we define it at first, because as you can see from this profile, that of course it goes like beyond their Instagram presence, because this is and represents their identity. There are 3 different completely type of people with 3 different goals, 3 different target audience, but they all talk yoga. And this is why it's important to know what actually you want to be doing and to whom. So are all these profiles the same? No. What makes them different? It's really to have identified these 3 key messages: who they want to help, achieve what, and through what. Okay, and now indeed to support my elements with some data, very important in marketing. Also this I showed last year. You can see that of course this type of choice in their communication is completely reflected in the type of people that follow them. Why? Because as you can see, for example, Dylan is followed by a big percentage of men in the yogi community. And they are also pretty young, because no one else can actually achieve this position. And also they are very competitive. So like he went to a workshop in Milan, and all my alpha friends, they do calisthenics rather than acrobatics. They all went to this workshop. So you can really see that he's Yogi Pro. And his promise, also the video and the courses that he's selling online are about yoga strength and cardio yoga. That apparently it's very famous in the US. So supporting points, I mean, like even if it would be unknown, I think just the fact that he can do this, it's like building trust. And also you also talk about his life. So the fact that he built his strength and this flexibility being a Marine, that he went out of his comfort zone when he went to war. So you can also see like he has very like uncharacteristic stories for a yogi. So like from being a military to find his own balance, to fight against all the fears that he got in war. And then also the communication style is inspirational and well curated. And this is very different from yoga without Adrienne, because her target audience defined at the beginning, it's women, beginner and yoga enthusiast. Category, mainly beginner and busy women and mom. And you can also see it in the fact that she has more than, she has 15%, but I think this is not completely true. She has like, on YouTube in particular, the audience is above 35. On Instagram, like she has, like also younger people, but on YouTube, definitely over 35. But you can also see that 90% are women. Women that like, yeah, like they want to do prenatal yoga, after birth yoga, or starting yoga, yoga in the kitchen. She has all the type of yoga that you can do in weird places. And this is what we said yesterday about the pizza. So if you try to please everyone, you will not please no one. And I know that is a difficult, very difficult sentence to accept, because at the beginning you want to support everyone. But even if, of course, you have a studio and you cannot tell, no, you don't look acrobatic, I don't want you, it's important to, when you do something in active marketing, to choose certain type of places for offline or certain type of channel for online, to make sure that people really resonate with your message. Otherwise, it's very difficult to make it effective. And now we will move in this second part. So after analyzing who we are and our audience, it's time and we are ready to actually go through the communication and conversion strategy. So the flow that we will analyze in the following slides but that is important that we keep always in mind is the following. So the first step is to attract. The second, so like to get in touch and be noticed by your target audience. Then, of course, is to delight them, because at the beginning, it's like dating. So you go around, you see the person that you like, then you need to attract the light and keep high the interest of the person that you like. So this would be the light. Then engage. So here it's like the dating part. So like going out, get to know even better, and then convert. So starts a relationship. I think this is like the easiest metaphor that I built over the year that everyone can sympathize with. So these are the areas that we have to do with each and every one of our customers, because in particular when competition is high, it's important that we really not only convert, but we build this relationship. So after that we build this relationship, it's important to analyze, learn from what worked and what didn't work, and iterate it. So do it again, better, more efficient, and faster. So let's start. We will have 3 different main channels. See, not everyone wants, like, actually, I'm curious to know after how many people want to grow online and how many people want to grow offline. Because of course, I didn't, working in digital marketing for so long, I live in a bubble with everyone is obsessed by online marketing, but doesn't have to be true for everyone. So online, we have like the social media as the first platform. So where I really recommend not to go more than 2 platforms. Then we have, of course, ads. So people that doesn't want to invest so much time in growing organically, or even more, they don't want to have the time spent on waiting for this algorithm to pick up or to grow. They can always use ads. Then we have online platform. So for example, like some coaches that are friends of mine, they really worked very well on Udemy. But because, like, for example, they are, I don't know, self-confidence coach, business coaches. So they really found their niche on Udemy or on other online platforms. There are now like many. And there are other yoga teachers that they found, for example, useful to have classes on Mind Body Online. I don't know if it's like, I think it's global. Yeah. Some other influencer, I saw that they go there. Then we have online collaboration. So with other teachers, complementary services, or yoga studios that are big online presence. And then we have offline. So for offline, we have, for example, yoga studio, offices, brochure, festivals. I think I don't have here a slide about offline, but I think that it's important to really stress this type of offline collaborations, because like I see a lot of yoga teachers here in Berlin, or like coaches, that they really could find their start by choosing yoga studio where they were going some hours, offering their services to offices, choosing the right place that their audience was going to put brochure, certain cafe, or also like co-working space or festivals, getting in touch, offering free classes, always having in mind, okay, what is that I want from my audience, where are they going, and understanding the pattern that they have in mind. Reason why you actually, if you can define 2 or 3 of your ideal customer and you build the type of personality behind, all these places and things that they do, they start to come up, because they say, maybe they go there, maybe they go to this cafe or to this bar. I can ask them to work with them, with them. And then last one, it's collaboration. So 3 ways that I saw that they work very well. It's workshop with other teachers or with other people in your niche. So for example, also here in Berlin, we did workshop. I did one with the yoga teacher, one with a coach that has another specialization. Sometimes they work, sometimes not, but I think it's always useful to collaborate with people that have synergy with you, or teachers on other locations. So for example, I don't know, I think Amigriga goes a lot around the world, going in other locations also to get to know people that are with the same type of characteristics and demographics, but followed by other teachers. And I think this is something that it's very easy to do and find. Also, there are so many online groups, and a lot of people did it at the beginning to really understand and test. And then guest post on magazine. Like if it's a good magazine, meaning your target audience, if you get in touch, now people don't want to pay for writers. It's also another good way to collaborate and get exposure. So this is everything about the 3 different channels. And now that we know which are the channels, we will start and get more detailed on the part on social media. So it's about choose the platform, understand it, and master it. Because really, I don't want to stress it, yeah, exactly, enough. It will become a part-time job. Like if you want to grow, for example, I started YouTube 1.5 months ago. I have to say that as a person, YouTube grew, because YouTube is quite complicated to grow on, quite well, but I need to post 2 videos per week, and every video between concept, editing, and posting, it takes around 4 hours. So it's 8 hours a week only on doing stupid videos. So it's 1 day a week that I have to invest in growing it. The reason why it's better that you choose a few of them and you really master it. So let's see which platform we will analyze today. Also here, spelling mistake. It's my new part-time job. Now I have to guess what is the other one. I think it's Facebook groups. I think it's Facebook group. Okay, so the first one is Instagram. Why it's good? So it's the best tool to inspire, easy to plan and use. Cons, it's very difficult to grow organically nowadays if you don't do collaboration. I don't know if you know this, but Mark Zuckerberg really likes to change the algorithm and to make people's life very difficult. If I work a lot with influencers, 5 years ago, they got 10K, 20K just by posting and using hashtag. Forget it today, impossible. Then we have YouTube. It's the best to educate and grow organically, but it's incredibly time consuming. So the difference between Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, see that is the last one, is that they really have a different algorithm. So Instagram, we will see it in the next slides, everything is about the first 24 hours and the first weeks. If your post dies, it's dead. YouTube instead picks up slowly. So it's something that people search on YouTube. So it might be that some video get to 100, 200K views in 1 year, and you just post it there, let it grow like a seed. And instead Facebook, it's the best platform to advertise to new audience, because it's the best place where people click, and also to engage with your existing community. So cons, if you don't pay, doesn't bring new customers. Now we will see how the Instagram algorithm work. And then I think we can do another exercise about everything that we saw before Instagram. So you can see that when this is actually dated already 1 year ago, because I showed already to last year. So they did even further improvements. But as you can see, someone post something on Instagram, because now everyone is on Instagram thinking I just need to post, but there is so much more than this. So why your post get exposure or not? So there are 3 factors that then are split in other 15,000 factors. Now we will analyze 9 of them. So your existing quality score. So what Instagram wants to see is if you post frequently, if your community is engaged, and how consistently are you engaging with your followers. Meaning that if you think, I don't care about Instagram, I only post when I need it, it's already very bad, because Instagram wants to reward the people that bring them money. People that bring them money are people that spend a lot of time on Instagram. Reason why, like if you don't post frequently, you don't engage with your community, meaning reply to comments on other people that follow you, it's very difficult that they will give you exposure. And I think it got even worse 2 months ago. I don't know if you post frequently on Instagram, but you saw that 2 months ago, the reach of organic people, that they are not big account, felt dramatically. And this is the reason why they really want to check the people who really use Instagram actively. So it got even worse. And then you have initial engagement triggers. So when you post, there is a 30 minutes time frame where they check if your post is relevant for your people. So if the post is getting a lot of engagement, if people are spending time on the post, that this is something that they had 1 year ago, because before it was only about comments and like, and if people are sharing via DM your post, this is when it's considered engagement. So if you want, like in the last couple of months, we analyzed actually what is more important. So more important are likes, even if they are covered, followed by saving, followed by people who forward by DM, followed by comments. So every time that you see someone writing, write me a comment if you share, if you like it or not, this is actually something that it's really not so much relevant as before, because Instagram realized that with this question, people try to trigger the algorithm, and a lot of bots are commenting nowadays, reason why they removed it. And then we have other factors. So do they look at, like, does your customers, basically your community, look at your profile often? Is the post recent? Is the post content relevant to the user? So if these initial triggers are satisfied by the algorithm, he will show it to 10% of the customers of your community. If the 10% engage, it shows to 20. If 20 engage, it shows to 30, up to 100, and then it shows to people that don't follow you. Reason why it's becoming so difficult to grow organically. And here you can see what I was talking about. So this is a post, and here you can see the characteristics of the post. So how many of you have a business profile? Because otherwise, can people raise their hands on Zoom?
Yes, they can. Hey, you know, Terry, recently somebody told me that I had to change my profile to creative profile, I think. Is that possible?
But doesn't change anything if you have a business or creative. It's just about like a bit the algorithm, but at the moment doesn't make anything. And then if you sell stuff, it's better to keep it to business.
Yeah, I had to put it on creative because I couldn't play any music on my Instagram stories, and I'm sad that I had to do that. Nelly asks, the business profile make you lose reach?
No.
No.
No, what makes you lose reach is the new algorithm. Like they don't care about what type of profile do you have, because of course they care about your history. So since I worked with a lot of companies, I can tell you that when they start to advertise, they lose like organic reach a lot, because as soon as Instagram think, oh my God, he has money to spend, let's trigger his interest in spending, then he cut the reach, so you spend. If you never spent before, they might think, okay, she's broke, so let's not make the situation even worse. So this is when it's like about the history of your profile. That makes all the difference. So if you have a business profile, and I only saw Alice my hand, I don't know if other people, another 1, 2, 3, okay. But still a minority. Change the profile. Let me know if you have any challenges, because like, even my husband, he has like how many, 400 followers. I also change his profile just because I think it's interesting to learn what is behind that people are doing. So here you can see in the analytics, so when you will have a business profile, let's go back, okay. Below every post, it will be appearing one click where you can basically visualize your stats. In the stats, there are the following information. Likes, that I think in most of the country, in Germany not, but like you cannot see this number anymore. But like then you see comments. This is people who share it by DM, so they send it a private message to someone else, and these are savings. So people who save it, because this is very powerful for people like you who share exercise, music, and something interest that maybe they want to do later. So this is a very powerful tool, just to ask, save this post. Then you have how many people take action on this post. So generally action, it's people that went to see your profile, or people that click in the link in bio. And then you have statistical data. So how many followers you got, what is your reach, and what is your impression. Impression are higher because it's people that even if they scroll, they went through your post. Reach, instead, it's people that actually like saw your post. Reason why there is these differences. So basics to have in place: get a business profile, learn how to read the insights. So we did it a little bit now. Have a bio with a call to action, and have a link in bio. This is let's see if I wrote it after. No, this is super important. If people need to follow, you need to explain what they are getting out of their profile in the bio. Something like, I'm the best yoga teacher you can find, follow me to have all the most difficult poses in the world. So they know, okay, that's what I'm learning. And then generally, like if you can, we will talk about this lead generation part after, put a link in bio where if they're even more interested, you can collect leads, meaning email address. We will talk about this later. Then how to post. Okay, so we have some basic that we can use. These are all the apps that you can download for free. The best one are Snapseed, Visco, that is very similar to Snapseed, Canva to do all your creative stuff like then and now. Hype Time, Unfold, it's for stories. And Grids is to check how all the pictures work together. I told you it's a part-time job. So Snapseed, it's Photoshop, but super easy. Canva, it's for amazing graphics. So also brochure, stories, everything for free. Grids is to understand how pictures work together. And Unfold is to make crazy stories style. So these are, for example, two posts that went very well. This one was a trend, then and now, of seeing how people can proceed in their journey to show, like, look how far did they go, you can also go so far. And this one, it's very educational, so he had a lot of savings. That is called the back pain remedy. And in a very stylish way, like, because like the person who did it, she's a yogi, but also an illustrator. She does all these very a typical yogi educational post, but I think it's interesting because as we saw before, if you are creative and you bring in all your style, that's when the people trigger. And then we have YouTube. But before going to YouTube, let's see, I don't know how many slides there are in total. Let's see 1 second, because otherwise maybe we can do one exercise first. I think yes, we can do 10 minutes exercise. So like, I think it's also, okay. So the exercise that we can do are the following. Going back to the previous slides that I will post, it's to try to understand even better these two slides. The first one, it's about these slides. So how does it differ now from the sentence that you wrote before? And if there are some area that you think you should explore differently. And also about the channels that you want to work on. So if you want to be more on online, on offline, if you want to be more about collaboration. And I think that like through sharing this type of thoughts with someone else can also help us clarify what are like the solution eventually to any of the thoughts. So this time I think I can jump around, Ame. So I listen, what are the, I'm very curious to know how you want to attract and who do you want to attract. So tell me, how much do we want to do? If you want to do like 3 or 4 minutes each?
Yeah, you tell me. Yeah, 3 minutes each. Yeah. Okay, so you want to write them the question that they need to talk about?
Yes.
In the chat, so they have it there. And yeah, so because you're going to stop the screen share now.
My struggle with Zoom is real. Like, because I don't know how to, now that I closed it, I don't know how to.
Honestly, the stuff that I see on top is all the windows that you have open. Oh my God, you have like 1 million windows open.
That's the style. But like, how can I write?
I think, okay, wait, maybe I can do this, maybe, no, wait. Stop participant sharing, there you go. I can be a dictator and do this.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I've created new breakup rooms with 2 people, right?
Yeah.
1 second.
Sorry,
I'll do this in the middle. Let me see. Okay. Perfect. Let's see. And then, okay. And then I'm going to put Teresa. Where is Teresa?
So yeah, because like I can take maybe a screenshot of this one.
Yeah.
And put it in the chat so you can see how maybe it's different from before, but I think if you don't have in mind the new one might be a bit complicated. Reason why I think I can, yeah. So now everyone has it.
Okay, okay, there you go. There. All right, cool. Off you go. Okay, we are back here, and I hope this exercise. We hope that these exercises are useful, and besides, you get to meet some of the amazing people that are part of our community. Me and Terry, we were hopping around the rooms, and there are a few interesting issues. But if there is more that you girls want to share, of course, ask. Yeah,
but like, I agree with you, like, because I think that there are a lot of different areas that we can touch on. The first one was offline, that I know that in this presentation might be that it's like a bit undervalued, because of course, as I mentioned before, like I bring the what is most interesting for the mass market as a marketer, and most of the people are interested in online, but doesn't mean that to be successful you only need to be online. As I was mentioning before to Caterina, I have friends that they have like a super successful yoga studio in Rome, and they just started their online presence now, and doesn't mean that you need to be like online to be successful. And the second one, it's about Instagram and spirituality that I took from Alice. But here I can share so many crazy spiritual profiles that I follow. They are not yogi, that are actually like super interesting, just to see how many different type of personalities they coexist on this platform. And if you have more questions, apart from writing in the comments on the Facebook group, so I can try to bring what I noticed. Like, I don't know if you have any questions actually that came up from the breakout room that we can address.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
For America as well. I mean, nowadays, would you hire yoga teacher which has no presence online? Is that a criteria to hire a yoga teacher in your studio?
It's never been a criteria for me to hire somebody that had an online presence. Yeah, it's never been a criteria. For me, the criteria have always been, I always ask them how many years they've been teaching for, so at least 3 years of experience, to send me a video of themselves teaching, because I want to see how they move around the students. I want to make sure they can teach without demonstrating every single pose. They teach with integrity. So I feel like even you can write your qualifications, but a video is just better. To actually see. So sometimes I ask people, just record yourself teaching your mom if you don't have an actual video, because it used to be that people didn't have videos of themselves. So Avantika, I remember she made a video on purpose for me, and she had a lot of qualifications with things that seemed relevant, like she had studied somatics, so that was also interesting for me. Then I don't know, Kami, she was a student of mine. I met her in Kuwait. I knew she was a cool person, so this is why I asked her to come and teach at Floripa. Drab, well, everybody knows the story of Drab. She actually came as a volunteer 2 years ago, and then she started to assist me in all the classes. She had done a teacher training, and she was so good. So then I asked her, to just become my right arm. So what I look for is, especially because Floripa is a residential place, I prefer to hire somebody that I either know or that they're really cool because they live with me. Like, it's so important that, they love the dogs. I mean, Kami literally was taking the dogs out every afternoon when she worked at Floripa for 1 month. So it's kind of important that they're really easygoing people. And then usually I ask for the video. And right now I don't really hire that many teachers. I always call the same teachers because I like to work with the same people. I never actually thought that it would be a plus to have a teacher who has an online presence. I don't think it is, because honestly, in my experience, there's so many people that have like a lot of followers that they've bought, and it doesn't mean anything. Because I remember, the first season I worked with a girl who had like, I don't know, many thousand followers, a yoga teacher, and I organized a retreat for her, and she didn't bring one single student to the retreat. It was all Floripa's guests. So even though she had a lot of followers, nobody signed up for her thing, and the only people that signed up were Floripa's guests. So that kind of made me think, okay, it doesn't matter really. And I want to say one more thing. I think the most powerful thing is word of mouth. Okay, so right now I'm teaching on Zoom. I don't have a huge account on Instagram. I mean, I only really post when I have something to say. It's not like super elaborated. But the people that follow me are really people that follow me. Like, it's not just people that randomly follow me. It's just people who have come to Floripa that know me, that are interested. So I think they're really relevant. So every time, like, I posted my first Italian teacher training and already had 3 people asking me about it. And that was like 1 hour ago. So they're really people that follow me. And right now that I'm online, the people that come to my Zoom classes are always pretty much the same. So like you guys. And then every now and then they bring a friend, and then maybe the friend sticks and continues to come. But I don't really have new people that have never practiced with me. But like in every class, I will have 1 or 2 persons that their friend told them. And the friend told them, oh, it's really challenging, you should come over, you'll have a good time. And then they stick around. So I think maybe since COVID has started, I have maybe 20 new students that have never actually practiced with me in person. But it's 20 students in 2 months, it's not many. But you know, they want to come to Floripa, and for me, every student is like important. I think it's more quality of the relationship than quantity, I think. Yeah, I will never be yoga with Adrienne, obviously, also because of the way that I teach. It calls for a lot of intimacy between teacher and student, teaching the kind of stuff that I teach. So yeah, so that's my experience personally. And I'm not huge with online presence, you know. I'm gonna start teaching on this gym that launches this week called Otto Studio in Italian. So I'm changing my target market, by the way. I'm starting to reach Italians as well after 6 years.
But I think it's interesting because what you said is really true, because nowadays we get impressed a lot by the followers. And I had live with the people that I know from work that they have 60 or 70,000 followers, and only 20 people were connected in the live. So most of these people that grow in the 2015, 2017, there was such a use of bot and other technique, and might be that they have a lot of followers, but people don't really care about them. So numbers doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything.
May I ask you a question? Sorry.
No, go. It's okay. You go first.
Thank you, Camille. I want to ask to Terry 2 things. One is about the IGTV, if it's working or if you have to move on this, and what are the impressions generated by the story? How much the stories are important in your profile?
Depends a lot. So the first one on IGTV, at the beginning when they created IGTV, had a lot of rich organic. So a lot of people were doing a lot of IGTV to solve the problem that the organic post didn't have that rich, as I did at the beginning, and now also died. The only positive stuff of the IGTV is that you can link it in the stories. So you can drive more people from the stories, because people are watching stories, in particular young people, like it's TV. Like, I don't know if you saw this type of behavior, but a lot of people under 20 have it. They put Instagram, they open an Insta story, and they watch one story after another. And that's why a lot of people have a lot of reach on the stories. The general average in the story reach, it's between 10 and 20% of the followers. And it goes down when the followers go up. So like Jenny, it's like if you have more than 30-40% of story reach and you have more than 10,000, that's amazing. I saw only happening to Fedez, but like can happen. And yeah, it's important to build a relationship. For example, I don't post anymore a lot on Instagram. I just do stories because it's too time consuming to the post for what it brings, to me at least.
Huh, interesting. So you only do stories now?
Yeah, and I get all my new followers through YouTube.
Your new followers on Instagram, you get them through YouTube?
Yeah, because that's where they search for the content that I post. And then to build the relationship, because they are delighted by the video, so they want to engage, they follow you on different platforms. But like, as you said before, Instagram, it's not for everyone. It's really for people who like to do post or like to do explanation in 1 minute, and I like to talk. So it's not for me. I'm not aesthetics.
Tell us about YouTube, because this was one of the questions that my student.
Yeah. So there was another question from Camille, I think.
Yeah, I was just going to ask about Instagram again. Do you like? I'm finding right now it's really odd. I'm using more story than I am posting. I'm not posting like I used to at all. And I'm finding like my following is dropping. Like, and I don't partially I don't care. Like there's a part of me that's like, I guess that's how it goes. That's how the cookie crumbles. But I'm just tired. Like I'm honestly tired of all of this social media. I look at Instagram. I do talk to my followers when they ask me questions or whatever, and because a lot of them are my friends as well, but I'm finding the numbers are dropping, and it just seems like, I don't know if I'm getting conspiracy theory-ish, but like the numbers are too weird. So like I lost this week we started, America, you asked us to post our Instagram so we can all start following each other and stuff. And so I gained followers, and I lost the exact same amount of number. So it says that I lost 8 followers and I gained 8 followers this week.
But to be honest, it's very normal for 2 reasons. Like one that I recommend you to, I lost 1,000 followers. So 8 is not as much and there are 2 reasons why. So like if you download this app that is for free, it's called Report. Like I can also post it after. You can actually see the people who unfollow you. Everyone freezed.
Oh, no way.
And what you will notice, for example, I lost a lot of followers for 3 reasons. First one, they were bots. So it's people that follow you just to be followed back. And now they're still on Instagram. So it's fake accounts. Second one, it's because Instagram deleted a lot of accounts that they realized that they're fake. Third one, it's because you change your niche. So for example, some of you have started following me on the Italian account, and I'm sure you will defollow me in the next 1 month because you get bored of the fact that I only speak in Italian. I grew a lot because I was doing a lot of sports after pregnancy, of course not. So I was posting a lot about HIIT training, and now I only talk about coaching and spirituality. So people don't give a shit about it. And start the following, it's normal because they only follow you for one reason. If you change even a little bit that reason, they start to follow. But it's like, it's not important how many you have, but really the quality of interaction.
Okay. So I am interacting still, but I'm just noticing it's, so it seems as though Instagram really just wants you to be addicted.
Yeah, but this is, because you can, like, compared to other platforms, the type of psychological trigger, it's really to make you addict, because all these likes, even if you don't care, I also don't care, but I still were getting pissed about the people that unfollowed me, and I was checking every one of them. How can you dare? So like, I think it's normal to get in this pattern.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, but it's important to be aware and say, okay, what can I do instead? Or how can I make people convert instead?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Do you recommend, because now I'm in the start of beginning teaching on another level that I've done before. So for the Instagram account, I have my private account with all my friends, maybe 400 or 500 followers. Is it recommended to start a new account, or just use your own and winkle it in yoga? Maybe my friends maybe not be interested in all my yoga stuff. So maybe
you can start from scratch, but knowing that, as I mentioned before, it's very difficult to grow. So if you want to start from scratch, in particular, like, it's important that you have followers, that you have already a plan on how to get followers. So like how you can do stories on your current account to bring the people that are interested to your new account, or do some collaborations with other people, so that you build an account that it's very defined for the new type of yoga that you want to teach, but also that it's, as I mentioned before, I don't know if you saw the slide with all the algorithm consideration. It's important that you're active, you comment on other people with the same type of audience, so that you have in mind that it requires some effort.
Yes, of course. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so I can go to YouTube before our time ends. Okay, actually, I thought it was shorter, my presentation. Okay, but can you still see my screen? No. Partager l'écran. Okay.
Now it's coming. Yes, now we see it.
Okay, so here we have YouTube, my new love. Actually, I've always loved it, but I knew that it was very difficult to deal with. So here I really try to summarize everything that you need for YouTube. So YouTube has the following characteristics. It's a search engine, so you need to rank to be found, in particular at the beginning. What it means to rank, I think that all of you use the YouTube, and you know that you have to type something in the search box. So the people who get the views is the people who rank the first in this beautiful search rank. Not for any reason, YouTube belongs to you, to Google, and the reason you are found on Google is the same algorithm that works on YouTube. So they work exactly in the same way. So who to follow? If you're interested in growing on YouTube, that's the best person to follow. It's called Sunny Renarduzzi. Like, of course, she's a Canadian. So she explains step by step everything that you need to know, really step by step. And how to rank in these videos. So when I will share this presentation, I received all the emails today. You can click and go exactly to the 3 videos that you need to follow to know the steps that you need to take. Because in these videos, she will explain how to find the keywords where you can compete. Because the formula to find keywords, it's a bit longer than what I can explain in 2 hours, for sure. And also because you need to master it. So for example, you can see here the key elements of a YouTube video. The key elements are title, description, and thumbnail. The title contains the keywords, exactly as the description. The description contains your primary keywords, so the keywords that you're competing against, plus all the other keywords that might be interesting for your video. And then you have the thumbnail, that is this picture over here on the side. And actually also here there is a lot of literature about it, because you only get ranking if people clicks on this picture. So having a picture random for the video, highly unrecommended. You need to have something that really like put people attention on. If you look exactly at these 2 examples, like in the first one, she ranks for the keyword rank number 1, because a lot of people, since they don't understand what is the ranking algorithm, they search, how can I rank number 1 in YouTube? And so she has these keywords with the thumbnail, how to rank number 1, but this is a very old video. In the new one, she changed the thumbnail, noticing that people really like bright colors, for the people at least digital market oriented. And she has all these like weird faces that people see, okay, interesting. And here it's the keyword, it's how to get more views, that I also Googled many times. And you can see that in the thumbnail, it's written 10 times your views. So you see, wow, this is really something that can help me, and you click. So these are the elements. It's not end, because when people click on your video, there is a third big element that you need to consider. That is called retention rate. I didn't show it here, but because I don't know how many people are brave enough to have started the YouTube channel, but apart from America, and if you go on YouTube, you will see that below the video analytics, if you want, I can show you. I don't know if you want that I show you. We can check just like, let's see, okay, YouTube. So these are all, okay, change account, 1 second. So I will show you, like in theory, in the future, if you're interested in, but Zoom, it's like freeze internet. I cannot change account. No, I can only show the presentation. I think it's not allowed to change account.
I don't know.
No. So if you are interested, I can send you the screenshot about it, because unfortunately, I'm on Loic computer, but it doesn't have any video on YouTube unless it's not hiding something. No, it's new. You will see under the video basically like the analytics, exactly as it happens on Instagram. But the more important analytics, so here you have everything, top videos. If I would be able to change it to my account, you would be, here, okay. Super slow. So under any video, you have something very important that is called retention. So for example, this one, how to say stop to negative thinking. So here you see how many people get as subscribers. Here you see if people engage more or less than my average. So this video didn't go very well. And here you see the retention rate. The retention rate is 57%. If it's below 50, meaning that people drop and they don't see all your video, it means that your video is not interesting enough for YouTube. YouTube, in compared to Instagram, they get money based on the number of ads that they show you. And they can only show you the ads if you spend a lot of time on the videos. Reason why they really want people to spend a lot of time on your video. And you need to be very smart on how you create your video. Reason why she also explains in this formula how to create a script for YouTube. So what do you have to say at the beginning? What do you have to say at the end? If you do a yoga class, it might be different because you only need to do beginning and end, but it's important that you do a session that matches what people are looking for. For example, 15 minutes yoga class, or how to do crane, or pregnancy yoga class. So you need to know how to build the sequence based on what people are searching, because otherwise it's very difficult to get views. And last part of this topic is how you can edit. If you have a Mac, there is iMovie on it that it's for free. If you live in Italy, where piracy is still allowed, no, I'm kidding, but you can download Final Cut Pro for free online, because otherwise it's very expensive, of Adobe. Don't try in Germany. And then,
Terry, I have a question, sorry, and I'm sure everybody's thinking the same. Why would you want to be on YouTube?
It depends, really. Like, I think that having your core identity in place, it's very important to know which platform they resonate with you naturally. So for example, I enjoy more writing a script, doing and the editing process, also because it's something completely new, that forcing my husband to take a picture of me for Instagram.
Okay.
Like for me, I really enjoy the learning process, the growth that you get by understanding the algorithm, understanding the keywords. It's because I'm a nerd in digital marketing, as you are in yoga. So, and I also think that it's something that it's a long-term investment. So I learning now, I build my videos, and one of the videos that that brought me like 10 new customers in coaching in the last 2 months got to 5,000 views in 2 months, and it's still growing. If I post something on Instagram and no one cares about for 1 week, then I did all this job for nothing.
Okay, yeah. So you use YouTube, but not because YouTube is paying you to make the videos, but rather because it gives you the visibility you want.
Yeah. At least like,
it gives you a better platform for the coaching job than Instagram does. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, for me, because people, of course, like on Instagram, someone can come to your yoga class because they like your type of yoga or what you're teaching. In coaching, it's very difficult to explain a concept about psychology in a picture. For me, it's much more difficult to convert, and I did a lot of collaboration in the last month, and I realized that despite I was collaborating with yoga teachers, so people that have synergetic businesses, or for example, nutritionists, they still didn't bring me the same type of engaged audience that YouTube did. But of course, it's time consuming.
It's time consuming, okay.
Yeah. So how much time do I have? 10 minutes. Okay, let's run. So, because the other question that was asked, it's about how to engage your audience, possible solutions. So here there are the 3 elements that we need to do to engage the current customers. This is both if you're online and offline. Doesn't require any phase, only requires like already like an initial audience that you have. So the first one, it's a landing page. So as we mentioned before, after that you attracted the audience, it's important to convert them into customers. And in these 2 steps, engagement and consideration, we need to include some activities from how we can collect these people that are interested in our services and how we can convert them into customers. So you always need to consider, of course, who they are, where they got in touch with you, and what info might be useful to build the type of content to engage them. But now we will see like a couple of things that are very basic to do. The first one, it's the famous link in bio. For this link in bio, there is an app that is called Milkshake, where you can build super easily a website with links, super pretty, in compared to the previous Linktree that was the most famous. So this is highly recommended to download. And you can actually use this link everywhere, not only in the link in bio, wherever is your audience. You can give it to someone. So as you can see, you can build a different type of pages. Here I have a page with all my link. Here I have a page with who I am. And then you have another very important part, that is where do you collect all these emails. So if here we have a link, now we have to build a landing page where people can put their email. And the best solution and the cheapest one is MailChimp. So if you are on MailChimp, now MailChimp, this is the MailChimp page. You click on campaign, there is a section called landing page, and you can build a landing page. The landing page will look like the one that you received yesterday to download my coaching exercise. So it's super basic. You have a logo, a text, and a space to put the call to action. So sign up for my newsletter. You also have other type of template that they are a little bit prettier, but like online in particular, now that most of your traffic comes from a phone, they don't care about how beautiful is the landing page, only how like fast it is. So if you have on a 3G and takes 10 minutes to download the page, it's better that it's simple and makes its job done. So on MailChimp, you have ways, very simple. If you're interested also, you can write me and I can build like a short video explanation where people that download like for example, they sign up to a newsletter or to a landing page, they automatically received whatever you decided to send. So it's very easy to create. I'll send 2 videos of 15 seconds each to a friend of mine, and she understood how to do it. So just to tell you. And if you need, there are also simple pages for payments. But of course, then you need to send these payments somewhere. Most of the people use PayPal, but there are like different type of options also there. Then we have website. I think, I forgot again. No, I don't know why I remember the Nancy, but she's not Nancy. Clearly, the girl that America invited on Thursday, she explained already WordPress, I guess. So that is the best solution, but also the most difficult one to use. And then you have other tools like Wix and Squarespace. The difference that Wix and Squarespace, you pay per month, around 10 euro. It's not super expensive. They are easy to maintain. And they have a lot of graphic options. You just have to be careful because there are some drawbacks sometimes about the speed of mobile. So if you want to, if you have a website, I always recommend you to search Google Developer Tool, Speed Mobile, and check if your website is fast enough for your customers to convert. Maybe I add it. And then if you have collecting these leads, it's very important that you engage them. So for example, every week on Sunday, I send a newsletter to build this relationship. For example, it's because I don't remember, I think, like they ask me, what type of content do I need to put in the newsletter? It's very difficult for me to reply because it depends on what your people or your audience search and they're interested in. Because it's like to build a relationship, it's important that it's like sometimes you have something for free, it's personal and relatable, and explain what they learn and what you think it is relevant. So for example, every Sunday I post a YouTube video and I explain why this topic was relevant for me and what they're learning in 3 steps in this video. And then at the end of the newsletter, I also try to convert them to do something more. So for example, I tell, this is everything that you get for free. If you want to start a coaching journey, then you can click on the other link. So what is important to do with the other link? If you have another form where you can collect the name of the people that are actually very close to convert, either also use like testimonials, stories of people that already coach on the courses with you, and also explain what is in this more. So how is your journey? How is your yoga classes? What is actually that they cannot get from your free video? So this is important. Yeah, okay. So I think okay. So now we will see 2 things. One, it's the automation. So I'm speaking super fast. I hope that everyone follows. If you don't follow, like, please tell me at the end, or we will do like a new plan. Because like when you build these landing pages, you can build an email or an automation. What is the difference? An automation, it's every time that something occurs, MailChimp send an email. For example, in the landing page that I gave you for coaching, every time that someone subscribe, they receive the ebook. Doesn't matter when it happens. On the other side, the newsletter, everyone receives the same email in the same moment. So it's important that you have a way to collect email with an automation when you provide something for free. And on the other side, you engage this audience consistently by sending once every week one newsletter when you say, what are you up to, what they can learn this week. So if in the first one you have attracted them, in the second one, in the newsletter, you're engaging and building this relationship. So the last part that I want to explain about MailChimp, that I think it's very important, is to realize what actually makes people stick, and how you can think about the content to send in the future newsletter. So in MailChimp, you have 4 variables that you need to analyze. The first one is the open rate. So how many people received your email and actually open it? Like this number, it's calculated on how many people, no, this is like, if you want to calculate the open rate, then you just have to divide it. The people who subscribe to your newsletter over the number of people that open your newsletter. So generally should be more than 20%, but if you have less than 1,000, should go up to 50–60%, because like you really means that there are people that know you and so on. This is very important because it tells you how good is the title of your newsletter. So everyone knows what is the title, right? Of the newsletter. So the first sentence that you have in your Gmail. So this makes all the difference. You have to do something that really makes people click. Then you have your email. In the email, you have, as we mentioned before, a click that brings people somewhere, to a yoga class, to a landing page to register, to a video, like to PayPal, whatever. So the clicked are the number that people that actually click. The click-through rate, it's the number of clicked over the open, the people who opened. Also, this is very important because in my case, this newsletter didn't go well because I generally have like a very high percentage of click, around 40%, and this time didn't happen. Reason why? It means that the content of this email didn't resonate with the current customers. So it doesn't mean that it was a bad email. It's just that the people that are now nurturing, they are interested in something else. And I need to understand, okay, so how can I tweak this content to make something that make people click more? Then bounced, it's simple, like the people who put the fake email. And unsubscribed, it's people that are so pissed by this content, they don't want to be more part of my community. So, as we mentioned before in the class yesterday, there is no judgment against this KPI. It's just about for us to understand how can I build better content, because since I'm investing my time, I want to take the most out of the click, out of the people that convert. So it's really about analyzing and understanding how can I be more effective. So if people didn't click, it's okay. I thought it was good content, in this case, not as much. Reason why I will review this newsletter and understand what I did there that I didn't do in a newsletter with a better click, and understanding how can I build a better newsletter. So 12, okay, I think we are.
Is it time? Oh my God, time flies. Oh,
Yeah.
you're like, so 12. Oh my God.
I have a couple of other things to say, always to talk about the engagement part, and then I'm done. So how can we engage? There is a new cool function in Instagram that is called close friends. For example, I have in close friends all the people that are following a certain journey with me in coaching. And this girl, that she actually is like an Instagram strategist, but the account is in Italian, she has for everyone who bought her program, like me, that are curious anyway, the close friends option. And you can have the close friends, for example, for the people, America, that do your yoga teacher training. So only for certain type of audience that they, like here you can see the number of people that will watch is much higher, because they know it's premium content for them, that you're doing it only for them. And I think it's a very interesting function. And then Facebook groups, that this is something that Facebook is promoting a lot. So you can see that the reach of the post in the groups, it's much higher than on a normal Facebook page. And you can easily invite all your friends or all the people that you're interested in a group, much better than a page. Also because people have a better sense of community. So something that would never happen in a page is that you have someone posting. Instead, here you have, this is I think from my company, yeah, this is, you have a lot of people that start conversation, and when they start conversation, something very interesting happens, that you actually get different badges. So for example, Maria Rosaria Sartapia, yeah, we love privacy in this presentation. She's a conversation starter in this group. So she's someone who actually really likes to ask questions about recipe and so on. So I think if you have yoga classes and you want to make an announcement, build a Facebook group. It's super easy to manage, super good. People really watch what is happening. They get notified every time something posts. Yeah, I think it's very good. So, and now we go to the end of this beautiful presentation. So I think that we covered attract, delight, engage, and convert. Tell me if not, or you missed information, but attract will be how you go online or offline to an audience that doesn't know you. Delight and engage, it's everything about building this relationship. So landing page, newsletter, automation. Convert is the last step, so how you can let them become customers by building up this interest in your service. And then we have analyze and start iterate. Let's start. So, no, actually, I think that I don't have many slides about it. Why it's important? As I mentioned before, And this is something that I really recommend you do everywhere you are, on Instagram, offline, online, is just that you analyze what has worked and what didn't. So little steps like asking people that convert, where did you get to know me? Or how, like, what do you think about my content? It's important because I also did a lot of offline activity. I did a lot of like a co-hosting workshop in Berlin. And every time at the end of the workshop, I saw how many people were then follow me on the newsletter and how many were converting. If I see that something doesn't bring me anything, it means that it's just not a good activity to do. So it's important that if you, like, for example, a lot of people I saw, I realized that they stopped posting on Instagram. If you realize that you do a post and doesn't bring you back anything, you can try for 1 month. But after that 1 month, as we talked yesterday in the coaching sessions about goals and review your goal, it's very important that you sit down and you think, okay, I put 100%. This 100% gave me 0. Either I can do better, either I can do different. And it's very important that you ask yourself, can I do better or should I do differently? And it's not about you and say, oh my God, nothing works, life like only influencer can do it. It's really about thinking, how can I try something different? Because you can't get different results by doing things the same way. And I think this is the only like learning that I got in my life about everything I do, is that if I want to change the results, I really need to try something different. Reason why after 2 months of being frustrated about Instagram, I said, why? Is it that, like, can I do better? Yes, but do I want to do better? So do more collaborations, more content? No. What can I do different? And this is when I explored something different. It didn't mean that YouTube would have worked. But then in that case, I could sit down in another month and think, okay, also YouTube didn't work. What else can I try? So life is full of opportunities. Yeah, I think it's the last. Let's see, I don't know, oh, yeah, a couple of slides. So, I don't know, yes, this one is the last. Reason why I wanted to point this one out, it's because your time is precious. And I really want to stress this because as you saw from the previous slides, it looks like being online it's easy, but requires some time. And there is this beautiful slide, time cost trade-off curve. So it's very important that you realize that like time has a cost. And it's important that like wherever you are in this cost, you either decide to go on and become efficient, either you decide to go back and change your strategy. So it's important that you analyze this data every week, analyze and compare the amount of the time you invested with what it brought back, test and improve. Like I do it every 1 month, and then every 3 months, for example, now I told myself, if I don't know, I need to reach this number of newsletter subscribers, otherwise I need to change. So I have my type of milestone in my head. Reflect back on your progress. This is super important. Ask for feedback. So at the beginning, 3 of my friends, not my mom because she's not mean enough with me, I realized. I asked 3 of my friends, watch my YouTube video and tell me what you don't like. So they were super mean. I didn't like this, this, and this. And this brought my retention rate from 35% to 70% average now. If you don't ask, why did you like it? Why you didn't like it? It's very difficult to keep improving because you don't know what actually people are thinking. And then last one, if you decide on certain path, both online and offline, keep studying and searching for what is the new option. What we talked last year, it's about, for example, the fact that I love about these stories, that America grew a line a lot at the beginning with book yoga retreat. I love this story. because she was super smart to find what is new at the time for her audience. And now doesn't work as well as before. So it's important that you know where is your target audience and to keep yourself up to date, because otherwise you might miss an opportunity. End of the presentation. So I also will tell
I love how you all of a sudden you're like, it's 12 o'clock and this is it. And now it's the end of the presentation, just like that.
Yeah, I will send you also the slides. But now ask me questions, because I don't know if people have meetings, things to do.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm sure everybody has so many questions, because I feel like the world of teaching yoga has changed so much. Even what you just said about book yoga retreats, right?
Yeah.
So right now, book yoga retreats like Booking.com, Airbnb, I mean, they're all like in a very bad situation, obviously, because nobody's booking yoga holidays. And in the meanwhile, you see all these yoga teachers going online. So now people are following the yoga teachers, and they might want to go on retreats to see the yoga teachers or with the yoga teachers that they follow. So this will maybe change the way book yoga retreats does business. I don't know, for example.
So interesting. Right? Also about your retreat online that I didn't know about.
Oh yeah, I was recommended. So I'm working with a PR agency in Colorado right now that she works with a lot of people that teach yoga or just spiritual stuff, because I was just overwhelmed by the amount of work, honestly, to moving online. And the one thing she recommended that I do is online retreats. And I was like, what is that? And she's like, yeah, you can get your community together as if they were, at Floripa, except that they are in the room and you have a schedule. You recommend them what to eat at lunchtime. You hang out, you organize at satsang, teachings and yoga classes. And it's something that people are starting to do. So the thing is, now it's almost summertime in Europe also. And I feel like people want to leave the house now that they have the opportunity. But it could be something also to explore, the possibility of doing online retreats, for example.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like, I think many of us, I don't know if you girls have any ideas, there is so many opportunities right now to reach more people. I mean, even for me, if this hadn't happened, I wouldn't be here sitting in Australia and talking to you right now, obviously. You would have to come to Floripa to see me. I never, considered the possibility of teaching online. And I think it's amazing that in the last 2 months, I've seen you almost every week, pretty much, either in class, and it's just, really, really an amazing opportunity for everybody to be together with our community, with our students. So yeah, it's a matter of getting out there. Like Caterina, you were saying, you don't have to expose yourself on Instagram, but maybe just, get out there. Done is better than perfect. Right?
I don't know if there are also other questions about, there was so much content, I think, today.
Like always, you're always so generous with what you shared. That's really amazing. Also last year. Yeah, so are you girls all gonna start a YouTube channel? How many of you got inspired to start your YouTube channel?
I have one.
Matt is gonna start one, Caterina is the next, yeah. Adriano already has one for the teacher training. I'm gonna make it compulsory for graduation from the 200 hours to have.
Oh yeah, like a minimum of video or playlist on YouTube. So.
It's a new requirement for the 200 hours.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, if you guys don't have any questions, we'll let Terry go. I'm sure she has a life and needs to get back to it, right?
No, but if you have questions, I will put the video, the slides, and everything on the Facebook groups, and I'll send you by email. And then if you have any questions, just let me know, because maybe I can provide the solution, or maybe not. Who knows?
Or maybe not. But maybe we organize another get together, because I'm kind of liking this get-togethers with this virtual get-togethers. I think it's amazing that we can also. The breakout room was so fun, just to connect and talk and meet people. Well, I know everybody literally, but you guys don't. So it's nice. So maybe we should do this more often. Yeah, let's do it again. All right. Yeah. So if you have questions for Terry, why don't you also use the Bhakti Prema Yoga study room? So this is our community for us, for teachers that have studied at Floripa or with me. So I think it's a good place. So everything that you are interested on, then everyone else can read about it, and we all grow together.
Yeah.
Thank you,
No,
Tam.
thank you. Thank you for listening, also because it was a lot, and see you next time then.
Yes. Have a beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, Terry.
Thank you, Terry. Thank you, America. Thanks, everyone, from the breakout room.
I'll see you tomorrow for Sunday Brew if you come to class, and I'll see the teacher training people tomorrow.
Yeah,
After
absolutely.
7 in the morning.
Send an applause. Wow, you can send an applause as well, apparently. Wow. See you.
Ciao.